Alright folks, today we're diving headfirst into a topic that always stirs up debate: the much anticipated contract extensions before the new NFL season kicks off. There's a lot of noise out there, plenty of people convinced this team can't afford to keep its core players because of salary cap restrictions. But let me tell you right now, that's a narrative that's been blown way out of proportion. Stick with me because we're going to break this down in detail and show why the financial situation isn't nearly as dire as some might claim. First off, let's tackle the biggest myth floating around, that this team has no cap space. That is simply false. Based on credible sources that track salary cap data meticulously, the team currently has around $10 million in cap space. Now, I know what you're thinking. $10 million doesn't sound like much when you're talking about multi-million-dollar contracts. But here's where it gets interesting. That figure doesn't account for rolling cap money that's still in play. Right. Now, we're looking at approximately $30 million in rolling funds. Sure, that number could drop to around $20 million as things settle, but even at that level, it substantially boosts the team's actual financial flexibility. People often focus solely on the raw cap space number without considering how teams manage contracts strategically. For instance, this franchise already has 46 players under contract for the 2026 season. Keep in mind that only the top 51 contracts count against the salary cap during the offseason. This means the team is actually in a solid position to field a full, competitive roster without the need for dramatic cuts or unrealistic restructuring. What's even more critical is that many of these players are on relatively modest deals. The team's true financial commitments revolve around just 3 star players, and here's the kicker: their contracts are designed with built-in options for restructuring. This isn't new. It's something the organization does routinely during the offseason, unlike other teams that might prefer to use option bonuses. Both strategies serve the same purpose: spreading out cap hits to future years in anticipation of a rising salary cap ceiling. Through smart restructuring of just these 3 contracts, the team can unlock around $62 million in cap space. $62 million! That's a game changer. This maneuverability provides room not just for extensions, but also for other roster adjustments, whether that's cutting underperforming players, restructuring deals, or extending key contributors at team-friendly terms. Now, when critics argue that even with all these moves, the team won't have enough financial muscle to be competitive, they're ignoring the nuances of cap management. This is not a situation where the team's hands are tied. If necessary, there are multiple levers the front office can pull. Beyond simple cuts, contracts can be extended in ways that lower immediate cap hits. Depending on performance and market value, the potential cap relief from such moves could range anywhere from $0 to $28 million. Of course, there will always be areas of concern on the roster. Right tackle, for instance, is one such spot where changes might be inevitable. It's entirely possible that the team opts to replace current players with more cost-effective alternatives. And let's not forget the big picture here. Reaching a cap space figure as high as $100 million is not off the table. While that might sound ambitious, it's very much within reach when you consider the combination of restructures, releases, and strategic signings. But even if that lofty target isn't met, a more conservative estimate of 70 or 60 million in available space would still provide ample flexibility for this team to operate efficiently. And here's the part many people overlook: several key player extensions would barely impact the cap in the short term. Because of the way these deals can be structured, their immediate effect on the salary cap for this year and the next is minimal. This is especially true when factoring in that certain players are in the final years of their deals, or even pending free agency, meaning their cap figures for future years are essentially blank slates. Take the case of an elite edge rusher who's on track for a Hall of Fame career. He's entering the final year of his current contract, and there's little doubt he'll command a record-breaking deal. The current market for non-quarterback salaries has set the bar incredibly high, with top players earning average annual values in the neighborhood of $40 million and guaranteed sums surpassing $120 million. Any new deal for this star defender will need to exceed these figures. However, from a cap management perspective, the timing of such a deal is crucial. If structured smartly, the immediate impact on the salary cap could be surprisingly small. The real hit would be spread over future years, aligning perfectly with the anticipated rise in the overall cap ceiling. This approach allows the team to reward its star while preserving flexibility in the present. Another player worth mentioning is Tyler Smith, a standout guard who's due for a substantial pay raise. Given the current market, with top guards pulling in over $23 million annually, it's reasonable to expect a new deal that places him among the highest paid at his position. But again, with contracts like Zach Martin's and Tyron Smith's nearing their expiration, the team has room to absorb this extension without derailing their financial plans. Rather than loading heavy cap hits into the early years of Tyler's new deal, the team could opt for a structure that flattens those figures, minimizing the impact in 2025 and 2026. Yes, there would be ripple effects in later years like 2028 and 2029, but that's a trade-off every team in the league accepts when managing elite talent. The focus should remain on maximizing the team's competitiveness over the next 3 to 4 years. If things don't go as planned, they can always pivot. But if the strategy pays off, it extends their championship window significantly. Looking at another situation, there's Dom Bland, a rising cornerback whose performance has sparked discussions about a potential extension. With recent cornerback deals pushing the market higher, it's logical that Don's camp would aim for a top-tier contract. Whether that's closer to what players like J.C. Horn or Derek Stingley Jr. secured remains to be seen. However, extending Don would naturally carry a larger immediate cap hit due to his rookie contract status and lack of future guarantees. Still, the team has the tools to manage this impact without compromising their broader strategy. The key is understanding that these decisions aren't made in a vacuum. Every extension, restructure, and release is part of a larger puzzle, carefully calibrated to balance talent retention with financial sustainability. In Bland's case, choosing to extend him likely means parting ways with another veteran at a similar position. It's a simple equation. Keep one, let another go, and manage the cap hit accordingly. Another player worth watching is a recent addition who, despite his potential, has yet to engage in serious extension talks. This suggests that both sides are content with a wait-and-see approach, treating the upcoming season as a proving ground. Given his past performances and current market trends, a team-friendly deal could be possible if the player shows he can thrive in this system. As for special teams, there's the matter of the kicker who's approaching restricted free agency. With options like a second-round tender or even a franchise tag on the table, the team holds a significant degree of control. The franchise tag for kickers, while costly, could be justified if he continues his current level of excellence. However, it would be more strategic to let the season unfold and reassess based on his consistency. Lastly, not every player will be retained. The harsh reality is that tough decisions are inevitable. There are several veterans whose contracts simply don't align with the team's long-term vision. Whether due to age, performance, or financial considerations, it's unlikely all of them will be back next year, but that's the nature of the NFL. Teams evolve, rosters shift, and front offices must stay ahead of the curve. The bottom line is this: the team has both the financial resources and the strategic foresight to handle this upcoming contract decisions wisely. Don't buy into the doom and gloom narratives about cap space shortages. With careful planning, smart restructures, and calculated extensions, this team is well positioned to maintain its competitive edge without jeopardizing future flexibility. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Veteran sports broadcaster Jim Nance is placing his faith in Rory McIlroy to make golf history this season by winning all 4 majors, an unprecedented feat in the modern era. Following a commanding performance at Augusta National last month, where McIlroy ended a 10-year major drought with a long-awaited Masters triumph, the golfing world is buzzing with anticipation about what could be next for the 36-year-old Northern Irishman. McIlroy's Masters victory was more than just a personal milestone. It reignited belief in his ability to dominate the sport. With his game peaking at the right time, he now has 3 titles under his belt in the current season, including wins at the Players' Championship and the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. These performances have propelled him to number 2 in the world rankings and firmly re-established him as a force to be reckoned with on the global stage. His next challenge comes at the PGA Championship, hosted this year at Quail Hollow, a venue where McIlroy has enjoyed considerable success in the past, with 4 career victories. The familiarity of the North Carolina course, combined with his recent form, makes him a co-favorite alongside current number 1 Scottie Scheffler. For McIlroy, this isn't just about winning another major. It's about capitalizing on momentum and rewriting the record books. Perhaps most importantly, McIlroy appears liberated, having finally completed his career Grand Slam with the Masters. He no longer carries the psychological weight that has dogged him for years. According to Nance, this mental clarity could be the key that unlocks a historic season. He's playing with freedom now, Nance remarked. And when Rory plays free, he's as good as anyone who's ever played the game with the US. Open championship still to come. All eyes will remain fixed on McIlroy's journey. If he can continue this form, he may just do what no golfer has ever done in the modern era: win all 4 majors in a single calendar year. The road is long, but the stars are beginning to align for golf's comeback king. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.